Alrighty guys, what is up? Welcome back to Path of Exile with LD7, and today we are going to be completing the prison and hopefully completing Act 1. It just depends on how long it takes us. Now, if you've watched any speedrunners play, they probably would have finished Act 1 and be, halfway through Act 2 by now. I'm not a speedrunner. I'm not that good at the game yet, so just bear with me. Kind of the idea of this guide is not to show you the fastest way to get through things, but more or less how you can play this character, or Necromancer builds in general, as a League Start character, because at least from what I have seen, it's not typically a playstyle that people pick for League Starts, just because, I don't honestly know why. In my opinion, like, Necromancers are super strong and, like, they're very viable as League Start characters just because of the amount of DPS you can get out of them. But they don't seem to be played as often as you would expect, or at least as often as I would expect. So I'm hoping that this guide will give people, the confidence that, if you want to play a Necromancer at League Start, you totally can, and you're gonna do just fine. So we got a 3-linked wand right here. So I think I am gonna swap. So that gives us our resistance, so we're going to go ahead and swap it into this, and then we can add in our Phantom support gem, which is good. We can start leveling that up. The thing about gem, like, you want to start using the gems for your final, or your endgame build as soon as possible, so you can, level them up with your character, as opposed to waiting to level until the very end. So this is like a skeleton boss, it kind of looks like. Not a big deal. So as you can see, like, we're doing a shit ton of damage. Like, we don't even see the enemies because we are killing them so fast, which is, in my opinion, like, that is the goal at any point in the game, because if you can't see the enemies, they can't kill you. With that being said, I think we got another large mana. We did, so I'm gonna grab that. I think I'm also going to go fill that real quick by killing a couple more guys. So there should be more enemies, yeah, just behind this door. So if we kill all of them, we will probably get everything else. I just want to fill up that flask before we go fight the boss, if at all possible. Should be good. So your mana regen rate is going to be really trash to begin with. It gets better as you take more passives. We're going to go in and we are going to grab, so we could do this, we also could do this, it'll increase our total mana and life. I'm going to go for the damage though, because we're not really having trouble clearing out the enemies at this point. And that's kind of how I follow build guides. Some of them, they tell you exactly like what skill you need to take at what point and all that noise. I don't worry about that. Like, or well, if they do that, then I'll follow what they say, because they most likely have more experience in the game than I do, so they know best as far as, like, when you should be taking specific skill points in order to make it through the map. But if they don't do that and they just show you, all right, you need all of these skills by the end game or whatever, it may not be obvious as far as, like, what you should be prioritizing. Kind of the way I play that is, if you're having trouble killing enemies, go for the damage skills. If you're having trouble staying alive, or you're running out of mana, go for the regen skills or the increased life, armor, those kind of skills first. And in so doing, you kind of, like, balance out your character as you progress, which is kind of the way you should try to play the game, I guess. So we're in the Warden's quarters. I think we got to go through one more door before we fight the actual boss. So there's this guy yelling at us. I don't really care. Let's go. I just want to fight the boss. So I wish I had Flame Dash at this point. It might be better for us. And the reason for that is I use Flame Dash as an escape spell, more or less. So we're gonna go open this chest. Cool. So those gloves are kind of useless for us, because by and large, like, we are looking for linked blue sockets on our gear, because primarily our gem combinations or whatever are all blues. So I think it's going to be in this Warden's Chamber where we fight the actual boss. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take Frostblink off of my move skill and put it on Q so I can use it to escape the enemy, because this build is fairly damn squishy just because we don't have a lot of resistances yet. And even when you get a lot of resistances, it doesn't necessarily like get less squishy. It's not like playing a like physical build character, like a warrior or Templar or something would have a lot more health and armor than this Necromancer build is going to have. But as you can see, like, we took this boss out super quick, and we don't even have like half of our skills yet. So we got a Sapphire Ring, that's pretty cool. We will take this. We'll take the Circlet. That's actually probably an upgrade from what we've got. The rest of this is kind of garbage. We can take the Longbow, I guess, and sell it. So let's go ahead and identify some of this stuff, because the Silver Ring would be good. Yeah, that increases our cold resistance and dexterity, so that is useful. We're going to put on this Circlet because it's a rare item, so it's automatically better than what we were wearing, and it's a higher level, so cool. I'm just identifying all this because if you identify them before you sell, they sell for more. We talked about that last time. Once we hit level 16, we can go ahead and upgrade our our ring to give us fire resistance. So we're now at the Prisoner's Gate. There's a waypoint up here. I'm going to take this back to Lion Eye's Watch just real quick before we enter in. So the guy that we just beat inside of the Warden's Chambers, that is the boss for the act. So as you could see, like, we basically took no damage and did just fine. So we've got Summon Skeletons. I don't really want that. What we're going to take is Flame Dash, because this can be used as an escape skill, more or less. So I'm going to swap out Frostblink for Flame Dash, and I'm going to bind Flame Dash to Q because that's the skill I like to have it bound to. You can keep Frostblink until you need the blue slot as well, and leave it on your move key, just so it'll increase your clear speed. So, like, if you're trying to increase how fast you're moving through the map, like, that's a good way to do it. You keep Flame Dash and Frostblink, and you'll be able to move around pretty quick. So there we go, got a decent amount of currency. I think just on this character we've already gotten a alchemy orb worth of shards or whatever from selling stuff, which that's pretty cool. Normally those take a while. That's a high-end currency, because what an alchemy orb these guys here do is it upgrades a white item to a rare item. So it goes, like, if we took this one, well, yeah. So if we took this item and added an alchemy orb to it, it'll turn it into a yellow. So you get more modifiers, which increases the amount of damage. I'm not going to waste it on these because these items don't even have the links that we're looking for. So we need to go back to Prisoner's Gate. And then basically we are just, if you follow that road, it'll take you to the next map. I just wanted to grab this stuff. Cool. So now we've got 2 jump spells. One is auto-triggered when we're running, which is good. So we need to find the Thaumatic Seal in order to open this up. Not a big deal. Should be pretty easy. Ooh, we got a rare monster. Fun stuff. But the reason why I like Flame Dash is now, if we encounter like a boss enemy or something and we need to escape for some reason, like we're getting low on health or like they're just wrecking us as far as damage is concerned, we can use Flame Dash to escape quickly. Obviously it takes mana to use that spell, but it's still worth doing typically. So like, there we go, took him down pretty easy. Take this Scroll of Wisdom. Let our minions go clear the map in front of us a little bit. The other cool thing about this is now we're doing multiple elemental types of damage. So eventually we take a passive skill point that allows us to... It basically gives the enemies 25% increased resistance to the first enemy or elemental damage type that they take. But then it reduces their resistance on all other elemental types by 50%, something like that. So it's becomes really strong, really fast, and it scales really well. So that's kind of the idea. You want to have at least 2 different types of elemental damage on your character, so you can utilize that passive. The Summon Raging Spirit, I believe, is a fire type, if I'm not mistaken. So adding in either frost or lightning damage makes that more powerful. The other benefit of Flame Dash is you can jump like cliffs and stuff if you use it. So it's a good movement skill. It not only can zoom you forward, but if there's a cliff or something, you can jump up and down the cliff using the skill as well. So we're just clearing enemies for the most part. We gotta find our way in. Cool, we got a sash. I want to identify that because it's probably better than what we're wearing. Cool, gives us some resistance. That's nice. Topaz ring does give you lightning resistance, so I think I'm gonna swap that for the Paula ring just so we've got a little bit more. We can identify this. Nah, this one's better. Mainly because of the sockets. So if you saw there, we jumped up the cliff. That's by using Flame Dash, so that's why it's a good skill. Didn't necessarily help us because we had to go where the entrance to the cliff was anyway, but whatever, it's fine. I mean, basically with this build, you gotta be effective at using blasts in order to maximize the amount of damage and stuff like that you're doing. So, Freezing Remote Gulch. So this is a corrupted area. If we go in and clear out all the monsters, we can get good items. So I'm not going to do it just because I don't think we're strong enough to be able to handle it at this point. So we're gonna wait on that. Not a big deal. Those randomly appear on the map, so you can do them if you want. But the enemies tend to be a lot stronger, so just bear that in mind. If you're having trouble just clearing the regular enemies, you might not want to do those because you might end up dying. Granted, if you're not playing hardcore, it doesn't matter if you die because you don't really lose anything. But I don't know. Like, if you're like me, you don't want to die. I mean, basically the only time I die with this character is if I'm fighting bosses. And I get unlucky on my timing and my cooldowns and stuff like that, and I wasn't able to warp out of their one-hit super move or whatever, because most of the bosses have something like that. Anyway, we're making it through the map. Not a big deal. Refill our mana. Cool. And every time you go up a character level, it does refill your health and your mana, so bear that in mind too. You can kind of like time your levels to help, you know, increase your sustain or map clear or something like that. So here we go, ship graveyard. Go in, and I guess we can apply this passive and get our enduring bond. So it increases the duration, it does a bunch of good stuff. So there we go. I think what we're going to start prioritizing next is the life and mana section. So that is going to help us just with our sustain, because we run out of mana pretty fast. Like, I'm not too worried about the health aspect, but increasing the amount of mana we've got would be useful at this point, because we are having to pop potions all the goddamn time, which makes sense because our skills are leveled up. So there's the cave, which we're going to want to go to in just a minute. First, we got to find Fairgraves is the dude's name, and he'll give us a quest to do something or another. So normally he is up this way. It does depend though, like the maps are randomly generated, so just explore it, you'll eventually find him. So this will take us into Cavern of Wrath. I guess it's good that we found it. We don't need it quite yet, but whatever. Let's check over here. It's just more water. It's kind of what it looks like. Ooh, there is a yellow, which might give us some good items. We'll see. So at this point, we kind of have our main skill set the way that we want. This is a greater flask, which is better than this, so go ahead and equip it. So what we're going to want to do is reach the level where we can add in our Summon Skeletons skill gem. And I am going to use the Val variant. Like, if you saw earlier, we did get Summon Skeletons as a quest reward. Once you unlock a gem, you can buy it from Nessa. So bear that in mind. Like, you don't have to take Flame Dash, and you don't have to take Summon Skeletons as the quest reward. You can just buy the other one from Nessa. I forget what it costs. It might be like a Scroll of Wisdom or something. It's not too expensive, but I think we're probably close to being able to use the Val. Yeah, we're level 13, so we should be able to use our Val gem, which is good. We'll equip that once we go back to town. I want to finish this mission first. So if we talk to Fairgraves, he'll give us the mission. Then we need to go over to that first exit that we found. So up here, that little orange icon is a gateway. So once we go through that, this is where we'll find the All-Flame, I think is what it's called. Anyway, not a big deal. So here we go. Kill some dudes. There is a boss in here, I want to say. Shouldn't be a big deal for us. I mean, we DPS like a champ. So, not a big deal. Let's see. Unlock that. Cool. There's Smuggler's Cache. We'll empty that out too. Spawn up some skellies. Or, well, they're not skeletons. They're raging spirits, I guess, but whatever. I call them skeletons because it's like a floating skeleton head. I think you can buy like cosmetic stuff for it as well if you want or so inclined. I'm not, because honestly my favorite part about this game is that you don't actually have to spend money to play it. The currency tab is, you know, if you're going to get into it and play a lot, like that is definitely something you might want to consider buying. It costs like $10, but it's a good $10 spent. Chain belt, none of the rest of this stuff is really any good for us. We could take the Jade Amulet, I guess. Sure. So this is a strong box. What these do is they spawn packs of enemies, and once you defeat all of them, it'll open up the box. Normally they will have like special items and could be good. So like we got special boots and we got some currency, so that's good. And then we also got some amulets and rings and all this other shit. So cool. We got some good items, I guess. Let's go ahead and put this point. Oh, whoops. Let's kill these enemies first. Now we can go in and put our passive point into mana and life. The next one I think is typically the bigger circles give you better bonuses than the smaller circles. So like you want to try to reach the big circles fast and prioritize those when they become available to you, just because it's going to help your character scale a little bit better. Anyway, here we go. So this is the direction. This is probably the boss monster right there. All we got to do is click on this, the slave girl. She'll drop the All-Flame. We can take the All-Flame. And they do put an exit right here, so we can exit. And then once we go back to Fairgraves, we can fight Fairgraves. And that is basically his quest done. Not too bad. I mean, it's pretty easy, all things considered. When you hand the All-Flame to Fairgraves, you do have to fight a bunch of these pirate ghost guys, as well as Fairgraves himself, so bear that in mind. Like, you're going to have a boss fight. So what I would suggest is, if you're playing this character, get your skeletons kind of spawned up, and then you can kind of just chill here, spawn more of them, and the enemies will come to you. So it pains me to do this, blah blah blah. He has like his little dialogue thing. It's not a big deal. Then he's going to summon all of his little pirate bastards to come and attack you. We've got so many fucking skulls out though that they won't even touch us. So we literally just have to kill them so we can get our whatchamacallit, our mana flask refilled. So we'll take some of this stuff. I don't have room for that wand, so that's fine. I guess while we're over here, let's take the waypoint back to town. We're going to clear out our inventory, and then I think we're almost to the point where we can enter into Act 2, if I'm not mistaken. If you get silver coins, you want to seek prophecies, because when you complete prophecies, you get extra items. So we got a Book of Skill, that's useful. Here, move this guy up. Take this. Our inventory is so It's so full. And we got that book of skill from doing a side quest of some sort. I don't know what one, but it's okay either way. So I'm just going to identify these guys real quick before we sell them, because it tends to make, well, it definitely makes your sell value better, like you get more out of them. So we could upgrade this. What is this giving us? 6 versus none, but we get more energy shield and life, so oh, we can't because we're selling. Duh. Don't care about the mana, don't care about that. These can be sold. We don't, well, we do have a sapphire ring, 25 and 16. This gives us lightning resistance as well, so that's actually pretty good. That gives us fire. So we'll save the rings for the time being and the amulets. We'll sell everything else though, just so we can clear out our inventory a little bit. And let's take a look. So if we add this one, we get lightning and cold. This one gives us attributes, lightning and fire. So 27 and 10 is better. I think we'll wear that instead. And then this one gives us 30 and 10. So we don't have any fire resistance off of these rings, but that's alright. Not the end of the world. This chain belt gives us some cold. I think we're going to stick with what we've got on the belt. Amulet-wise, we can take a look. So this one would give us fire resistance, and it's way better than that. So yeah, we'll put on this Jade Amulet for the time being. I do want to put on this Silken Vest. Take that off. And then let's sell this, what's left in our inventory. We'll keep the ruby ring for now. Why not? There we go. Let's go over here, deposit our currency, and then I'm just putting these rogue contracts in here because we're not really doing the Heist League special stuff at the moment, just because there's no point. We will apply this point to our heart and soul. Cool, there we go. Outside of that, I guess let's go ahead and equip our Val Summon Skeletons. So I wish I had a 4 blue link. I don't think I have any that I can wear though. So that's fine. But summoning the skeletons is really useful as well, just because it allows you to put more minions on the map. And we kind of got to decide, like, it might be better to swap out our Raging Spirit for that, in my opinion. So we're going to put this back to spacebar. But what I want to do is put our Summon Skeletons to my macro button on my mouse, just because that's what I use on my other character, so I'm used to the binding, more or less. So there we go. I think we're looking pretty good. We should be able to get back, take the waypoint to the graveyard, and then we just have to get through. I know we're over the 20-minute mark, guys. We're almost at the end, though, so just bear with me. I just wanted to try to finish Act 1 in this episode for you, so you can kind of see how that goes. I guess once we get up here... Do I not have Frostblink anymore? I thought I had Frostblink. I do. Okay, it just got deselected for some reason. Cool. I guess what we can do is summon up some skeletons. So what we need to find are just some dead enemies. Here's some guys we can kill and summon off of. So I guess I don't have that set. It is in UI. Corpse targeting always enabled, so sometimes you gotta play with this. I like having it always enabled because it makes it a little bit easier for me, but every once in a while it like glitches out. So save if I hold the A key. Why is this not working? Summons. Oh, alright. Got a boss. It's not a big deal. Sure, we'll take your circlet. Alright, forget it. We'll just keep on pushing. Not a big deal. Always enabled. Save. We should be able to take out some enemies we can summon off of inside of the cavern, hopefully. But this is where this build gets, like, strong. is you summon a bunch of stuff and you don't have to fight anymore. Assuming we encounter something. Here we go. So why is this not letting me summon off of these guys? Normally it does. Interesting. Guess that's fine. Just keep on going through the map. Guess we'll grab this cash. I mean, I don't really care about the currency for the league either at this point. I mean, I've got a fair amount that I've grinded from my other character, but if it's your first time starting the league, like, you should try to get it. So... oh, not enough souls? What does that mean? Do I have to kill a certain amount of enemies before I can spawn with that? I guess. That's kind of what that seems like. Oh, okay, yeah. So it looks like with this... I'm guessing it's because it's the Vow equivalent of the gem. As opposed to just summoning off of dead enemies, you have to like kill a certain amount before it'll let you summon. So I should... how do I do this? So there we go. So now we've got all these homies with us, right? And... oh, are they seriously just stuck in one spot? That's stupid. Like, they should move along the map with you. That's how most minion stuff works, so maybe we don't want to use this, and we'll just switch back over to Raise Zombie. Like I said, I just wanted to try that skill gem because I found it randomly out of a Val Ruin, but that's fine. It doesn't actually work the way I thought it did, so we will probably change that for Raise Zombie, just because Raise Zombie definitely works the way I want it to, so yeah. Don't use the summon Val skeletons, I guess, because it's not going to do what you want, which is interesting. I mean, it's kind of disappointing, in all honesty, because kind of the way this build works is you summon your minions, they're with you the entire time, and then they soak up damage, they do a lot of damage for you, and basically all you have to do is kind of dodge attacks and keep your mana up and stuff like that. So, not a big deal. We will open the treasure chest. See, if I had Raise Zombies right now, I'd also have 2 or 3 zombies chilling with us at the moment. That would be doing damage, so just bear that in mind. Like, I guess, as opposed to... I guess I could try getting the basic summon skeletons. Let me actually do that and see if that works the way I think it's supposed to. I know, I'm sorry guys, this video is getting long, but we're almost done with Act 1, so I want to finish it. So Arc, Flesh Offering, Essence Drain. I guess grab Stormbrand. That's actually one that you can use, so go. Regular summon skeletons might behave different than the Vow variant. I'm hoping it behaves different than the Vow variant. Let me just go back through our portal and see if I can summon. Okay, so I can summon 4 of them. Do they follow me on the map, though? No, they don't. Okay, so that is a trash. Don't use summon skeletons. You want Raise Zombie instead, because the zombies will follow you around on the map, whereas the skeletons don't. So I am going to de-equip that, and we're going to just sell it back to Nessa. And then we are going to purchase Zombie. This guy right here, Raise Zombie, throw that in. And you want it with your minion damage and summon Phantasm support. It synergizes really well that way, especially early on. So here we go. Here's some enemies for us. if I cast our Raise, I think we should be able to have 4, 5. So we can have a max of 5 zombies at this point. As you increase the level of the gem, the number of zombies you can have will increase. There's also skill points you can take that'll increase that. So I think on my final character, it has like max of 7, which really is quite strong. So this is the Act Boss, Mirabelle. So they do a number of different attack types. So your zombies are going to be pretty squishy to begin with, but they do get better over time. As you can see, we are making short work of Mirabelle. I mean, this is like the little break that they give you so you can refill your flasks for a minute. Just watch out for those water things because they do a fuck ton of damage. Even if you've got good resistances, they do a lot of damage. But killing all of these enemies is useful as well because I can re-summon my zombies, which got killed. So just bear that in mind. Like, once you start doing, like, you want to have the max number of minions up at a time as possible, because it does increase your DPS significantly. So, lost a couple. And then also, you know, try not to get killed. Pretty easy. I mean, all things considered, like, I guess they, like, we had to pop 2 health potions on that, which is not bad at all things considered. But that was the Act 1 boss, Mirabelle. Pretty easy. Got it done. You get this waypoint here, and then basically you're just walking over to the next city encampment. But guys, that is the end of Act 1, and I think we're going to call the episode here for today. In the next one, we'll show you how to get over to the Act 2 town and kind of what to do once you get there. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to like, comment, subscribe as always, and until next time, this has been LD7, and we will see ya.